How's it going, everybody? And welcome to another video. And good lord, I wanted to look at a video real quick, or a couple of videos actually. But before I do, I want to read a comment to you guys, because recently I was looking through my comments, and I saw a comment that I'm gonna go ahead and approve, but I just wanted to, so it was easier for me to find it. But anyways, so this is from somebody called the dog, or at dog DISSER. This was a response to canine aversion blames dog owners for rabies. Now with that one, although I kind of commented on the fact that, you know, some of the things that I want to say, some of the research that canine aversion had made were accurate, I made the point that she doesn't fully go into the full aspect of what causes rabies. Like, there are other animals that are, I want to say, that have a larger effect with rabies than dogs do. And ultimately, that the information that canine aversion has used was a way to try to denounce, or more to the point, demonize individuals who owned dogs. Because at this point, her tactic is fear-mongering. It's always has been, and it always will be, if she continues this type of behavior. Same goes for her fans, a lot of them, who have continuously shown their colors as individuals who are not well, and have promoted, at least quite a few of them that we've responded to, or at least promoted shootings at schools. So anyway, so this is an individual by the name of Dog DISSER, writing, "No, they're not. If they were morons and being pathetic, they would just think out of their mind to say why they hate dogs. But they actually take the time to do the research and have a fair reason for disliking them." Well, like I said, they did their research, which I don't see. I'm not seeing the argument there. Though I'm gonna say this right now. I mean, the way she displays her dislike for dogs is almost irrational. But this person continues saying, "I dislike dogs when a dog I currently live with broke my mother's wrist and knee. If that was the case, then the dog would be gone. It wouldn't be living with you. Especially if it was that violent." Which kind of begs the question, what were you guys doing to the dog? That dog destroys, that dogs destroy furniture and attack kids. I hope this truly helps you give a hindsight on what we think of them. And, you know, I'll say this. Ultimately, I do acknowledge that there are some situations where dogs, you know, situations where dogs have harmed individuals. But I also acknowledge that a lot of it is based on the upbringing for the animal. A lot of times, especially where a dog attacks, especially in a household, it depends on their well-being, how they adapted to the humans that they interact with. A lot of times, if you have a bad owner, you have a bad dog. So, also, especially if a lot of situations where you have stray dogs. Yes, there are situations where stray dogs have attacked kids. Because, let's face it, or at least these animals, haven't had a good extent of human interaction or training to, I think, ultimately show that, hey, We shouldn't be attacking kids. Or at least have... if some of you guys get what I'm trying to say. But overall, this was ridiculous. But anyway, I wanted to look at a couple of videos. One from this individual himself, the dog disser. I guess giving a quick response to an individual by the name of the YOLO. So, real quick, let's do this.
Hello, everybody. I know this video may be unnecessary, but I like to talk about this.
Alright, so YOLO. Dogs and dog culture have lots of flaws. We need to address them.
If y'all remembered from a month ago, YOLO.
No, I don't.
Started coming on here.
Okay.
Well, like a couple months ago. But ever since a month ago, he has not done a single thing. He has not posted any comments, nor joined in on live streams.
Oh no.
Ever since like a whole month. Even on my channel too. This is very strange. I've posted on my community about it.
Maybe he has other things to do, man.
Where on earth he's been. The following screenshots
good chance
are
that
to class.
There's a good chance that this person might have a life. I mean, for all you know, he actually has a dog.
Specify that what I'm saying is actually factual and understandable.
Factual? Factual. You guys, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean or anything, but it's like, dude, a lot of things you guys say, it's not based on facts, it's based on emotion. A lot of times when you guys speak about this topic, it's not about facts. Sure, there are some facts to it, but there are facts that rebuttal what you guys are talking about. So, overall, when you speak of like dogs, constantly bring up the fact that, certain dogs attack people. Not all dogs attack people. Not all owners are bad. And you try to, by the way, and I want to point out the fact that you guys, a lot of you have gotten to the point where you're literally demonizing people who own dogs or own animals. Claiming that they're evil, claiming that all of them should be dealt with, which, kind of, I want to say, it really shows how irrational some of you guys are. Anywho. Sucks a lot. I wish your mom became aware. Okay. Yellow sounds like a creep. Turns out he is. We will win this fight. Welcome. They did not strike your other account. Welcome back. Okay. Pop cups are, for dogs, unnecessary. More vids will be here soon. And that's a thing for...
Pirate games is something that I've always wanted.
No. That's a video I'll watch later, but I'd probably get more entertainment from. But let's look at a video from YOLO. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that in, because like I said, I'd rather watch more stuff from like Angry Joe or something like that. Anyway, but when to go check out the videos from YOLO, and this looks like a fun one. Dogs are holding humanity back. I can think of a variety of different things that are holding humanity back, but let's give this guy an opportunity.
Hi everyone, it's YOLO. In this vid, I will talk about dogs holding humanity back. Dogs have been put on a pedestal for far too long.
I think there are greater things that we put on a pedestal that oversee dogs, but okay. Okay. I mean, yeah, we care for dogs. I mean, a lot of people, we care for dogs. We make sure they're fed, watered, etc. I mean, we have communities where they're literally, have tournaments where you are seeing who has the better breed of dog, but I don't think overall we put them on a pedestal compared to a lot of other topics today.
And it's holding society back.
No, it's
People
not.
prioritize dogs over real issues, homelessness,
No.
poverty, and even their own families.
No.
So much.
No. Yeah, no. Any statistics to that? Any stats of this comment?
Money, time, and energy is wasted on dogs while society struggles. Dogs disrupt.
I think, you know what, I'm gonna say this because I've worked, like, in my own experience, because I work in terms of like the I don't want to say medical field. I've worked in treatment for a long time, and I think one of the biggest issues, like, currently, especially with humanity, is the issue with drugs. One of them. That's one of the biggest reasons, but one of the biggest things. It's not dogs. It's, the fact that with quite a few people, they are addicted to one thing or another. And a lot of times addiction causes homelessness, which, by the way, fun fact, because there are so many times where you have people, like, you try to convince a person who is homeless to try to, find a place to live or to, change their life around. And a lot of them have this mindset where they don't want to go and live in a sort of structured environment. I'm not justifying it. It's just, that's the sad truth. In the town that I live now, there are so many homeless. It's so bad. We have a variety of different, treatment facilities and halfway houses that are used to house people who are dealing with addiction. Like I said, I think there are greater things that are holding humans back. One of the biggest ones being the drug problem, because there are a variety of people who, and depending on the situation, it's not always one thing. Depending on the situation, you're gonna have people that are addicted to either alcohol or meth, marijuana, etc., etc. And for a while, they won't know what to do. So again, dogs are not the biggest problem that humanity has. Things like drugs are.
Disrupt public spaces, barking, biting, and making places uncomfortable for many. They take.
For a lot of people, they're accepted. But for those, I mean, granted, for some people, it isn't.
Take over stores, malls, restaurants, schools, and parks when they don't belong there.
I mean, despite, I'll say, besides the fact that some of them are service animals, I can only guess he's talking about the service animals. Or no, I mean, if he's talking in general, no. A lot of times, dogs are not allowed in stores, restaurants, or so on. Is the chance that there are individuals that have service animals, in which case they are allowed to bring their dogs. But that's, in the rare case that individuals like dog haters don't really take that into consideration.
People act like dogs deserve to be everywhere.
What? Where's... Can we get stats, please? Like, where are you getting this? Like, can we get receipts of, like, people saying this? Like, seriously. Because this just seems irrational.
Even when others feel unsafe and uncomfortable. Dogs aren't even natural animals. Humans created them, yet dogs are treated as more important than real wildlife animals.
Dogs have been in society. Yes, we created dogs. I mean, they were originally from wolves and have been bred. But dogs themselves have been society, have been a domesticated animal that have helped society for years. Many, many years. We use them for hunting. We use them, to some extent, we use them for gathering. There have been a variety of different uses for dogs. I mean, I want to say to denounce, like, again, we created dogs from wolves, but at the same time, they've been useful. They've had their uses.
While other animals struggle to survive, dogs get pampered, overfed, and spoiled without question.
I want to say with some no. Okay, no. I'm not defending them. I don't. It's like, if people, oh my gosh, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. So, you want, I gotta ask, like, so if somebody owns a dog, do you want them to just treat them like shit? I don't consider, like, you know, me with, like, because I have 2 small dogs. I don't, you know, see myself pampering them. You know, I make sure, you know, they have a place to sleep, food, water, you know, that they're taken care of. Periodically, I clean up after them. I don't pamper my dogs. I'm sure there are some people that do, but that's their own prerogative. It's their dog. They're allowed to do that. Especially if the dog is being, well, a good dog and not doing anything wrong.
People's obsession with dogs has also made them forget about loving their own species.
Oh, nope, you deserve this. You deserve this.
This guy is fucking stupid!
As I mentioned before in this video, I myself have worked in treatment for a long fucking time. And I'm gonna say this, when I hear stupid comments like this, that, oh, you own a dog so you don't love your own species, I think it's disingenuous and honestly very, very, very fucking disrespectful. I want to say that there are so many times where I'm driving and I'll drive into town. I need to go get gas. And I see people just sitting outside of a gas station who are homeless, who are strewn out of their fucking minds because of drugs. Now, in any normal situation, for a lot of people, and it doesn't matter, you don't even know whether they have dogs or not, but in a lot of the situation, you have people that just, you know, walk past the person. They're not gonna take a second. I'm one of those individuals that, you know, I see somebody down on their luck. I know I don't have a lot of money, but fuck it. I get them at least a sandwich and something to drink. Why? Because, in a sense, they are living in the community that I live in. Because in some way or another, especially with me working in treatment, I care for their well-being. I feel so sorry for the state that they're in. So, for if you're trying to claim that people who own dogs don't care about humanity, you are so fucking disingenuous. You really are. And I'm surprised that anybody would actually take you seriously. It's the same thing I've said about people like canine aversion. Yes, I own a dog. But at the very least, I give back to the fucking community. And actually deal with actual human fucking problems. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit... That hit me a little bit. Because there are things, like I said, yes, there are situations that involve dogs attacking people. Not all of them. Not all dogs attack people. There are some. There are the ones that are the bad actors. There are some that, by nature, when they get older, yes, they do attack. There are some times where, you know, in situations, because they haven't been taught to interact with humans, yes, they attack. There are times where they have a bad owner. They don't know how to respond to other humans. Yes, they attack. And just because I own a dog does not mean I fucking care. I understand, and I feel sorry for the individuals that had to go through that. But I'm not gonna fucking lie to myself and say that all dogs are evil. That all dogs are the root of all evil.
Humans. They treat dogs better than other humans, defending them no matter what, even when they attack, cause harm, and are spoiled.
You know who's the bigger, you know who's the greater attacker of humans? Humans. You know, I want to... This is a question I have for people, like, especially like with, like, you know, people of the feminist community. Because it's always interesting when you have people that comment on a topic and act like they actually care about humanity. But I want to question or challenge their logic. Because at this point, if they actually cared about what's been going on with humans, then they care, or they would care, or actually respond to actual issues in humanity. How about the fact that, you know, individuals are dealing with, you know, countries that treat them, where at the very least, like, treat women like objects, or like they have no rights? How about the fact that there are countries that if a woman speaks back, then she's either beaten or mutilated or worse, killed? How about the fact that, you know, in a lot of situations where, you know, individuals who have a different sexuality or a different preference, that they're taken on top of buildings and thrown off to be killed? How about the fact that there are certain countries that have been at war for so fucking long that currently we have situations where people are at each other's throats because of one war that has never fucking ended for years? You know, you want to talk about issues with humanity. You want to talk about caring about humanity. How about talking about actual fucking issues that deal with humanity, instead of this crap? Because at this point, the greater risk to humanity isn't dogs. It isn't cats. It's humans. That's the bigger risk to humanity. And let's face it, some of the people that are high up on the chain, at one point could just consider, hey, we're gonna push the button. And everything that has been our society, everything that has been our like just life itself, could be gone in an instant. Consider that.
Human connections suffer while dogs take priority.
We've been doing that to ourselves. Dogs aren't the root of that. You can shut the fuck up.
It's time to wake up. Society needs to move forward, not stay stuck worshiping dogs.
I think society needs to, look look past our differences. We need to come and actually talk about things, not actually act like fucking animals. Because I think that, at this point, that's what's been going on. We have people that will go out of their way to burn, destroy, and kill because of politics. But I guess dogs are the root of that evil, huh?
We should be focusing on real progress, not catering to an overindulged dog culture. Break free from dog obsession, prioritize humanity. Don't forget to like, comment.
Yeah, no, we're not. Like I said before, there are greater things to worry about than people owning dogs. People like this are irrational. People like this are disconnected and have their priorities set on the wrong thing. If they actually cared about humanity, they would actually talk about human problems. But they don't. They are so... And that's why, again, that's why I always classify this type of hatred for an animal as a type of cult. Because they're so hyper-fixated on it. They are so obsessed with this particular topic that they can't focus their attentions on anything else but the thing that they despise. Not realizing that, again, we as humans are a greater threat to ourselves than any other thing. So, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. What are your guys' thoughts? Leave in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care. And I'll see you guys next video.